Welcome to Takeover, the most underrated sports debate show on YouTube. We have a birthday in the room. Happy birthday, Deandra. Special thanks to all you do for Takeover. You guys didn't see it. You know, we all got Josh again, but we did take her to a game, you know what I'm saying? Showed her what her first NBA game was like, and I'm sure she enjoyed it.
I'd add something, but he kind of stole all the good lines. So happy birthday, Deandra.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
As you guys already know, my name is Josh.
My name is Deandra.
It's your boy Cam, and this is Takeover.
We play it all in night. Yeah, need it all in advance. The opposition know we're ready for it. Like a supper we eating, it won't be the last. Grind out the muscle, pull up. Parker right on the grass. We coming in, take over everything, run it up. Not that holding me back. 3 in the wood, rushing.
All right, so Steph Curry has been arguably the NBA's best point guard for the past 5 years and has a blazing resume that includes finals wins, MVPs, and just shattered records. So that leaves the question, is he the greatest point guard of all time, guys?
Yes. Unequivocally, yes, no question about it. I thought he was the greatest point guard about 2 years ago, and the last 2 seasons have just added to his argument. All right, when you talk about the greatest at any kind of position, when you talk about the greatest in sports, obviously we can bring the stats, but both guys are going to have fantastic stats. If we talk to Steph, we talk about Magic, Isaiah, John Stockton, whoever we bring to the table is going to have absurd numbers. So realistically, we could talk about that. We talk about the fact that Steph Curry has the most made threes in NBA history, and the man's only 33 years old. We can talk about the fact that, you know, Steph Curry's got the only unanimous MVP in NBA history. But I would more look at how has he changed the game? Like, what has a certain player done for the game that they play? The reason that you can argue like Babe Ruth was the greatest baseball player of all time is because Babe Ruth made baseball like an absolute attraction. Babe Ruth was out homering other teams, entire teams. So it was more of how did he change the game? Steph Curry has changed the game of basketball, arguably more than anybody has ever changed a game that they've played. Steph Curry single-handedly brought in the three-point revolution and made it acceptable to just chuck ungodly amounts of threes. Before Steph Curry, you had teams that lived in the mid-range, they lived in the paint, and you really only had guys that took threes, and those were the specialists. You had Mike Millers. You had, Ray Allen towards the end of his career. Those guys, the only guys that shot most of the threes were guys that were only there to shoot threes. Steph Curry made it okay to make your superstar mainly a three-point shooter. Steph Curry made it okay to launch 35-foot jump shots and that be a good shot. Steph Curry made it okay to do all that with flair off the dribble and then look at the bench after he did it. Steph Curry changed the way that kids play basketball. You see kids that are 8, 9 years old pulling up from 30 feet now because they want to be like Steph. So Steph is the greatest point guard of all time, not just because he is an absurd offensive player who is arguably one of the greatest offensive players we've ever seen in the game. It's because of the way he changed the game.
Josh, I am disappointed.
Why?
Look, your dad's probably disappointed.
I'm sure he is. Well, I don't know.
We're all disappointed. Magic Johnson walked so all of our favorite point guards could have run. We're talking about a person, you're talking about Steph revolutionizing the game. We have a 6'9" point guard here, which is basically something the league has never seen before. You're talking about revolutionized, talking about change. He created positionless basketball. He is the definition of positionless basketball. Talking about someone who's 6'9", had handles, could shoot from the mid-range, was a career 52%, could rebound, could play defense. In his rookie season, he had a 98.3 defensive rating. Might have been, like I said, that's crazy. And I didn't even say passing. He could do all these things at 6'9", which is something no one has seen before. Magic Johnson is the only rookie to win a championship his rookie season. Magic Johnson is the only athlete in a 4-year span that has won a high school championship, a college championship, and an NBA championship. And when he's in his first NBA championship, Josh, his star Hall of Fame center, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, gets hurt. And what does he do? He steps in the center position and drops 42 and 15 against Julius Erving and closes him out. I'm not trying to take anything away from Steph, but I don't believe Steph could do those things. Maybe because he's undersized. Maybe because the game has changed. But we're talking about a point guard, the guy that everyone wants to be. You talking about Steph made it flair. Magic Johnson was here before Steph. Magic Johnson was doing no-look passes. It was Showtime for a reason because of the things Magic Johnson was doing. All the crazy stuff you seen Steph do, Magic Johnson did all those things. He just wasn't the three-point shooter Steph was. The only argument you could have for Steph Curry being better than Magic Johnson is that he shoots better than Magic Johnson, to be perfectly honest. I don't really know anything else Steph really did better. You got to think about it. We're talking about a point guard. We're talking about guys who are passing. He holds the record for most assists in a regular season with 11.2. This is a guy who, after he won his first championship, beat Irving again in 82, beat your guy Bird in 85 and 87, and beat the Bad Boys in 88. This is the guy who exemplified what team basketball was, and he was the man of it all. You could arguably say during those championship runs, I think out of the 5, 3 of those times he was the best player on that team. And you can't say that for all of Steph's finals because you look at Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant, to me, has arguably always been better than Stephen Curry. So I'm not gonna take away the championship either from Steph in 2015, where Kyrie and Kevin Love got hurt, and he was basically playing LeBron James. I'm not gonna take it away from him because the championship is a championship. But we're talking about point guards. We're talking about the best point guard ever. You have to throw Irvin Magic Johnson in there. 3 times MVP, 3 times Final MVP. Steph has no Finals MVPs, and he's the all-time assist leader. Stop it. Magic Johnson is the best point guard to ever live.
Well, I will say that Steph Curry is definitely the best shooter of all time, but it takes more than just shooting to be a point guard. So I am agreeing with Cameron when I say that if I have to put anyone above Steph, it will be Magic Johnson. I'm not knocking Steph for playing on good teams, and I'm not discounting his championships because, you know, he's a big part of the Golden State franchise. However, I can't help but think if you give other point guards the teams that Steph has had, how easy does it make for them to climb up the ladder? So, for example, you get Allen Iverson. If you give him the team that Steph Curry has had, does he climb the ladder? If you give Chris Paul teams that Steph Curry has had, does he climb the ladder? Or if you give Dame those teams, does it make a difference? So I'm also talking about what you alluded to with the Finals MVPs, being the most important player in a series on the biggest stage. And Magic does that. He has 5 rings, 3-time Finals MVPs. And he, like you said, he came into the league as a rookie winning Finals MVP and a championship. And he exceeded expectations in the playoffs. And like you said, I don't think Steph really has those moments where you completely take over a game, especially in the playoffs. Like, for example, you have 2016 Game 6 against the Oklahoma City Thunder. That's a game that you look at Klay, right? Klay just completely took over a game. I don't think you can definitively say, or you don't have a game that Steph has played that goes undisputed, says that he completely took over a game. And, you know, people like to say Steph makes his teammates better. Magic definitely made his teammates better as well. And I think it's a fair argument to say that he really extended Kareem's career as well. Because when you look at Kareem's career, you have to have an all-time great point guard to facilitate the ball to you. And I'm going to use this as an example. I'm not in no way, shape, or form comparing DeAndre Jordan to Kareem. That is not what I'm doing. I'm using him as an example. When you look at Chris Paul with DeAndre Jordan, when you look at the stats that he put up, he was an All-NBA first team. So that means many people thought that he was among the best centers of the league. But what happened when Chris Paul left? So I am not saying that Magic made Kareem. I'm just saying that it speaks volumes that the type of teammate that he was. And you spoke about his versatility. You talked about how being 6'9", he could play different positions and defend different positions. You don't have to hide him on defense. So as of right now, Steph is balling, but I'm not putting him as the best point guard of all time. I'm going Magic.
Man.
Oh, and you spoke about revolutionizing the game.
Yes.
I think we forgot that Magic, along with Larry Bird, saved the NBA.
Yeah, sure, but they didn't revolutionize the game. Magic was great, but you didn't see a bunch of 6'9" point guards popping up after that. Steph,
LeBron James,
that's
Luka
Cam. You talking about 25, 30 years after that?
But look, they're modeled their game after this guy. Shoot, Scottie Pippen. A lot of these guys have modeled their game after him. Before LeBron was the chosen one, it was Magic Johnson who was the chosen.
Everybody models their game after Steph. After Steph started shooting it, Dame started to change his game in the NBA. Dame wasn't firing from 35 before Steph was.
So that's the only reason why you're saying he's the best point guard of all
I'm
time?
saying he's the best point guard of all time because, like I said, if you bring the numbers and you bring the accolades, arguably you can argue it's a push. Maybe Magic has more accolades.
It's no maybe.
Whatever. You bring the accolades, everybody's going to have great numbers, everybody's going to have great accolades at this level. You got to look at what they did for the game. You can say that Magic was a better, arguably, all-around basketball player, but we're talking about greatest, and greatest involves impact. And when I look at the impact, I don't think that Magic is on Steph's level in that case.
So all of your favorite athletes, all the point forwards, that came from Magic Johnson. All of them.
But there's very few.
There's no 6'6" guy dribbling the ball up the court.
Yeah, now we got center shooting threes.
That's fine. But if anything,
We
that's
got-
probably because of Magic Johnson.
No.
Too. He was 6'9" doing
But
those
he
things.
wasn't shooting threes,
Why is everyone saying
Cam.
look,
How does this involve threes?
that's only one part of the game.
It's the biggest part of the game now because of Steph Curry.
But you have to play defense as well. You have to be able to rebound.
Not
as
not in
well.
today's league. You're not allowed.
Yes,
you're not
you
allowed to
do.
play
We're
defense
We're
in
talking about
today's
all
league.
time, though. So if
I'm
we're
not
talking
I'm
about
not
all
allowed to play
time.
defense.
Yes,
today's
you are.
league. Not anymore. Anyway, switching gears to football because I'm not going to get into this. The AFC has been deadlocked record-wise for a majority of the year. Everybody's kind of hovering around the same 3-game general record, right? Leaving this question very big. Who is the best team currently in the AFC?
So, me, for one, I discounted the Titans because when they lost Derrick Henry, I did not believe that they were going to go farther. I thought their season was over. But they proved me wrong because they have just been playing better and better as the weeks go by. Their defense gets progressively better and better as the weeks pass, getting stops and making plays. And when you look at everyone else in the AFC, they're really the only consistent team as of right now. You look at Buffalo, the Ravens, the Chargers, or the Browns. They've either been struggling against teams that they should be blowing out, or they've lost to teams that they should beat. Like not arguing, they should have beat them. So they've been playing like the best team in the AFC. You look at the recent games that they had: the Saints 23-21, the Rams 28-16, Bills 34-31, and then the Colts and then the Chiefs. You can definitely tell that the offense is missing Derrick Henry, but I believe that without Derrick Henry, they're kind of getting used to playing without him, and they get a chance to practice options on other options on the offensive side of the ball, and they're getting more receivers involved, they're getting more receptions, and if Derrick Henry comes back in January, then that's just another piece that they're adding on top to their new identity that they're kind of finding. But that is currently, as of right now, we'll see if they can keep up the pace as the season goes by.
Bill Belichick, year in and year out, tends to prove why he is the greatest coach of all time. And that is why I'm here again. I hate to say it because I can't stand him and the rest of the league can't stand him. But the New England Patriots right now look like the scariest team in the AFC. When you look at what Mac Jones is on pace of doing, he is one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the league right now. When it comes to QBR, he ranked 4th. When it comes to completion percentage of a rookie, he's on pace to beat Dak Prescott's record right now. They run the ball effectively. They play good defense. Matthew Judon, guys they picked up on the offseason, they're paying off. This team gets better every week. And I'm not really sold on the Buffalo Bills either. That 9-6 loss to Jacksonville, questionable. How they haven't really beat anybody with a good resume, questionable. Could the New England Patriots win, I think, a game in Buffalo? I think so. The way they're playing, to me, I think by the time we get to the playoffs, when we roll around that time, this would be a team that no one wants to face. I'm rolling with the Patriots right now as the best team in the AFC.
I don't think there is truly one best team in the AFC, except for the New York Jets because of Mike White. I'm playing with y'all. I wanted to get the Mike White joke in. Honestly, looking at the landscape, I think there's like 7 different teams that are all mediocre, that are all trying to fight to see who is the most or the best mediocrity, or however you would phrase that. I don't know. I'm not good at English. I'm going right now on paper. I tend to look at these on paper. I'm going with the Baltimore Ravens for the simple fact of I think they've got the best offensive weapon in the league right now. They've got Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson's shown this year he can throw the ball. You don't necessarily want him throwing 50 times a game, but he's shown that if you make him throw, he can and will beat you. And even though they've lost all their running backs, their run game still hasn't really missed a beat. It hasn't been as explosive as it would be with J.K. Dobbins. But Tyson Edwards, Le'Veon Bell, Devontae Freeman are all kind of Power Ranger metamorphosizing into a quality backfield. Wide receiver-wise, Hollywood Brown can take the top off of any defense. They still have Mark Andrews over the middle. And if Rashad Bateman can really get into like what we think he can be as a first-round pick, he can give Lamar that big-bodied receiver that he has never had the opportunity to have. And then on the defensive side, they still have, I would argue, a top 5, top 3 corner in Marlon Humphrey. They still have a good front 7. They're led by Calais Campbell. And they always play very disciplined football. So for me, as of right now, I'm putting my money on the Ravens as the best team in the AFC. But the way things are going, that can change like week to week to week.
Some people in City of Austin say that he's overrated. What do you guys say about that?
Those people are crazy, and I'm surprised that they're allowed to watch football. No offense. I know everybody's allowed to have an opinion, but your opinion is wrong and factually incorrect.
And that's what we do on this show. Tell you your opinion is wrong. It's not yours. It's not right.
And tell each other that our opinions are wrong.
You're not entitled to it. You're not. You're not. Well, that is going to wrap up our episode. Do you guys have anything to say?
It's been 15 days. The Braves are still world champions of the world. Jorge Soler's home run still has not landed. I believe it's still in order. It might have hit a space station. And the Houston Astros still haven't scored a run in Game 6.
Do you have anything?
Subscribe to the channel, leave a like, leave us your takes, all that good stuff. Y'all know what to do. We tell y'all every single week.
Again, happy birthday to Deandra. And what did you about to say, Josh?
I said, you'd think that they do it. We continue to tell them. We bother them about it.
Don't listen. I don't know.
If you do it, we'll shut up about it.
Maybe. That's going to wrap up our episode. Takeover out. We see you guys next week.
Yeah, we play it all in night. Yeah, need it all in advance. The opposition know we're ready for it. Like a supper we eating, it won't be the last. Grind all the muscle, pull up. Parker right on the grass. We coming in, take over everything, run it up. Nothing holding me back. 3 in the wood, rushing. I don't like Dutch, don't even matter, you know I'm facing. When I roll a paper, I like to go double. Run up a check, flip a W, make it an M. I need